welcome back to our kitchen today. We are going to do a quick Chelsea buns so that you can have something really nice on New Year's Day for breakfast. It's a favourite here in our home and really easy to make. And this recipe can be transferred to make all sorts of other things. So I've got a cup of milk here. I'm going to put in maybe make it 100 grams, 100 grams of butter, and I'm going to put it in the microwave and melt it. Okay, melt the butter and heat the milk up. So after I've done that, I'll show you what to do after that, and we'll get our yeast bread ready to prove and to make Chelsea buns. So I'll see you soon. Brooklyn heated up our milk and melted our butter, so it's all in there. So that's a cup of milk and 100 grams of butter. I'm going to add, actually I'll do it with it since I've got a teaspoon of granulated yeast. So the yeast looks like this. You see that? You can get those from any grocery store. And I keep mine in my deep freeze. It just tends to keep it for longer. So a teaspoon of yeast on top and a couple of tablespoons of honey, which I've had to melt because it was a bit hard and crystallized. So here's our little science explanation. So the yeast is dry and nothing will happen from it because it's inactive. What it needs to grow is warmth and heat and food. Hang on, warmth and moisture and food. That's it, warmth, moisture, food. So we've got warm milk. The food is the honey, and what was the other thing?
Moisture.
Moisture, of course, is the liquids as well. So we're going to give this a few minutes and you'll watch how it reacts. It should start to look like a little brain. That's how I describe it. That's how I describe it when you have a look at it. So we'll let this sit here for a few minutes and then I'll show you what that looks like so you know what activated yeast looks like. Hear my grandkids in the background. It's like totally holidays. See how it looks like a brain? It's starting to look like a brain. Now that's been about maybe 3 minutes. Have a look. You want to have a look? Here you go. Yeast. That's yeast growing. So now I'm going to chuck in an egg. Beat that up. Just mix it up. And then I'm going to add enough flour to make a soft dough. So again, don't forget to use the same cup that you've been using. So this is what I used for my cup of flour, for my cup of milk. And then just add cup by cup. So 1 cup, give it a mix. That's going to be really wet, so I'll add another cup. And add enough until it's a soft dough. So I can't tell you what the measurements are going to be because some flours are more absorbent than others. Yeah. So that was two cups there, and that's too wet. So we're going to add probably another ½ cup to make that a soft dough. So let me do that and then I'll show you what that looks like. So here's our dough. It's a soft but not sticky dough. Okay, Brooklyn's mixed it up nicely, given it a little bit of a knead, and you don't really need to knead this, but I'll show you for the purposes of showing you how to do it. Okay, so it's squashed down with one hand, fold over, down, over, and lightly flour your board or your bench. So now that this is done, we're going to put it into a clean greased bowl. So Brooklyn did this, greased this up for us. Leave it there, babe. And we're going to I'm going to put a tea towel over top of it, and I'm going to sit it outside because it's warm and sunny out here. And that'll take probably about maybe an hour to rise. Then we're going to punch it down again and let it rise again. So that's going to take an hour and a half probably. It rises a lot quicker the second time around. So maybe check it in 45 minutes, punch it down, it should double its size, and then check it again in another 45 minutes and punch it down again. Then it should be ready to roll. And we've got a dough ready to show you how things work and how to make up your Chelsea buns. So give us a few minutes and we'll get that sorted out, and hopefully we can lose some of the extra things on the bench. That'd be good. Right. Here's our dough that we've had rising outside. Okay, so that's on the second rise. Okay, so it's really, can you see that? Really beautiful and soft. It's a perfect dough. Okay, so we're just going to put it out onto a floured bench. flour just so it won't stick. Okay, and then we're going to just flatten it out to a rectangle shape, thereabouts. And we're going to do this a few times. Some people only do it once, but I'm going to do it a couple of times because I like the layered look. Okay, so I've just put a little bit of melted butter on there, and I'm just going to put some allspice. Some people put cinnamon on it. That's cool. I'm putting allspice. On here, decent layer, and a little bit of brown sugar. You could use white sugar as well. I'm using brown. Okay, now I'm going to fold that in half and do it again. Okay, flatten it out into a rectangle and start again. Butter. So let me do this and then I'll show you what that looks like when I've finished. Now I'm probably going to layer it one more time. Fold it again and do it again. Did that make sense? Fold it again, do it again? You know what I mean, don't you? Okay.
Third fold over.
And it doesn't matter if it breaks like that. You know, when you eat it, it won't matter. And it'll still taste great. So last little bit of butter.
And allspice and brown sugar.
Yep. Okay, the oven's on. Fan bake, 180 degrees. So this is the third time that I've folded it and layered it. And all I'm going to do now is just roll it. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Okay, and just pinch the edges so that nothing comes out. Okay. Now, grab my clean chopping board, pop that on top, and I need a knife, which I've got in the soapy water here. Tea towel. And I'm just going to cut them into scrolls. See that? That's how they look. Okay, so let me finish doing this, and then I'm going to put them onto some baking paper ready for the oven. Okay. These have been cut up and they're just ready to sit there. I'm going to leave them for another, I'm going to put them on top of the stove top because it's warm, and leave them for another maybe 20 minutes. So this is not a short process, it's quite a lengthy process. Probably maybe an hour and a half all up, but it'll be worth it, okay, because these are a real fave in our family. So let me do this, and then I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Buns are still in the oven, they're nearly cooked. I actually didn't rise them again, I just couldn't be bothered. But if you want to, it'll make them even fluffier. Okay, so don't always listen to me. Now I've melted about, probably about 100 grams of, maybe it's a bit more, 150 grams of white chocolate, and just added a little bit of cream to it, just to make a soft, this is what I'm going to use to make my icing. And it's starting to go hard. Eek. Okay, that's all good. So I'm going to wait. I'll show you what it looks like when I pull out the Chelsea buns from the oven, and then we'll ice these up and get them ready to show you what they look like. Okay? Buns have come out of the oven. Now some people just like to eat them like this, you know, just and you can just put a bit of melted butter over top, just brush a bit of melted butter over top to make them nice and shiny. I have made, this is our white chocolate with a little bit of cream. I probably need a little bit more cream in it. And later on, when they've cooled down, I'm going to ice them up. So that's pretty much it. When they've cooled down, I'll get Brooklyn to take a photo of it so that you can see how gorgeous they look. So this is something that we like to eat on New Year's Day, you know, for our breakfast, to make it a little bit more special. This recipe is also really good, a base recipe for things like your donuts. Go back. We showed you how to make donuts months ago. And also you could make croissants out of this. Okay, it would take a lot of rolling and a lot of layers of butter, but you could do it. Okay, you could do it. So that's our recipe for today. Hope you guys are well and continue to have a fabulous new year and take care of each other. Ka kite.
Yum.